This is a special presentation of DawgNation. The 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl.
We want to find a cure for both Parkinson's and Crohn's.
So we're here to help Coach Mark Richt. Now, live from Athens, here's Brandon Adams.
Dawg Bowl. We are live here in Athens, Georgia tonight on behalf of a tremendous cause led by the great former Georgia coach Mark Richt. As tonight, we look to raise a lot of money for a very important research initiative. Obviously, the goal here tonight, $800,000 going towards the Isaacson Center for Parkinson's disease research and Crohn's disease research. Obviously, this is our second year getting a chance to be a part of this, and honestly, it ends up being one of the most fun nights we're able to have for the entirety of the year, and obviously for a very important cause there too. Let's walk over here and we're going to get a chance to see some of what's going to be going down here tonight. So obviously, as we said, we're raising a lot of money here this evening, but it's all being done with a spirit of a lot of fun here. Take a look at what's going to be given away tonight to our top bowling team. You've got the Georgia-themed bowling balls, and for someone like me who grew up a big professional wrestling fan, the idea that someone's going to walk away with one of these Dawg Bowl championship belts, I mean, I'm telling you right now, that is about as good as it possibly gets, and it's just a little bit of just a reminder here tonight about how much fun and how special it's all going to be. Over the course of our time together, we're going to get a chance to hear from the man of the hour himself, former Georgia coach Mark Richt. He's going to talk about his own battle with Parkinson's disease. He's going to talk about the way in which he's persevering and enduring and continuing to lead the way even now, the way that he always has, going back to 2001 when he first began his time here at Georgia. We'll also hear about his granddaughter Jaden and her own personal battle with Crohn's disease and how those two things are potentially connected with the research that the Isaacson Center is doing at UGA. Of course, the Isaacson Center, named after the former Georgia Senator, Johnny Isaacson, who did pass away after a battle with Parkinson's disease. And so all of this part of the great legacy of the University of Georgia, clearly one of the great athletic departments. And as we know, as we spend our time talking about a tremendous football program, but also a wonderful research university where great academic work is happening on a regular basis. And clearly, we're very lucky and very blessed to have a center like that connected to UGA that's leading the way on these research initiatives. With that in mind, let's bring on our first guest here right now. We're happy to have the president of the University of Georgia, Jerry Moorhead, joining us in the program here today. And President Moorhead, first of all, thank you for being here on DawgNation, and thank you for being a part of the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. This is just so special.
Well, obviously, when you get a chance to have a night like this, maybe very different than a lot of the nights that you spend as university president, how much do you enjoy seeing the community come together like this? The current coaching staff, the current players, former coaches. I think for a lot of us, it really speaks to the very special relationship that gets formed around Georgia athletics. And as someone who has an interesting vantage point for all that, I'm sure that fills you with a lot of pride, too.
Well, and add all of those groups to the academic enterprise of the institution. What other university in the country brings everyone together?
And we were talking about that a moment ago, that I think that we feel very blessed to have something like the Isaacson Center and the work that they're doing. Obviously, Parkinson's disease, Crohn's disease, two of the things we're talking about tonight, but there's also, great work going on there for Alzheimer's research, better treatments, maybe eventually a cure. And, someone like me, I can't even comprehend what must go into all of that, but I'm glad those kind of folks are out there, and I'm glad they're at the University of Georgia.
I am too, and I'm glad that Coach Richt has put all of this together. We owe so much to Coach Richt and Catherine and all of the supporters who have come out this evening.
Obviously, you've had a chance to kind of see him as he's lived here in the Athens area. What stands out to you about the way in which he remains such an effective leader and someone who kind of is driven by his own personal passions? As someone who's in a leadership role yourself, what stands out to you about Coach Richt?
He's an honest, ethical, decent man who really cares about the future.
Absolutely. We don't get a chance to talk to you very much about what's going on around the university, but since we have you here, before we say goodbye to you, I guess give us a little bit of an outlook at how the academic year is going and what's happening around the university, sort of beyond the boundaries of sports, which is sort of our typical conversation.
Sure. Well, we just got ranked in the top 20 for the 9th year in a row by U.S. News and World Report, moved up 2 more spots to 18, tied with the University of Washington and Purdue University. We're starting a medical school at this institution, so a lot of great things are happening.
Well, congratulations on that. I know for all Georgians, fills us with a sense of pride to see the university doing as well as it is. Thank you for being here tonight, President
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely great stuff there. Jerry Moorhead, the president of the University of Georgia, speaking to the great success that Georgia's enjoying academically right now as well as athletically. And by the way, speaking of Georgia athletics, many of you may be aware of this, we're only a few minutes away from the arrival of the Georgia Bulldogs themselves. In fact, tonight during our broadcast, you're going to get a chance to see Georgia players actually bowling. And I tell you, I love this so much because obviously we know how serious and intense the football situation is and how challenging it is for them. And yet this is a week where they get to maybe let their hair down a little bit and be a part of this. And tonight you'll get a chance to see them bowl. Now also keep this in mind. As we watch the Georgia Players Bowl, as we get a chance to hear from Kirby Smart later on, University of Georgia Athletic Director Josh Brooks later on, keep this in mind. All of this tonight is for a great cause. We're going to invite you tonight to participate in that cause. In fact, throughout the evening, you're going to hear me mention the name of their website. It's ricksdawgbowl.com. ricksdawgbowl.com. There is no apostrophe, of course, in that, but that's our website tonight. ricksdawgbowl.com. Last year raised, $736,000, I believe, that was raised a year ago. We're going to push tonight to get $800,000 raised for this great cause. Crohn's disease research, Parkinson's disease research. We're going to push hard to get $800,000 raised. We're already in excess of $600,000, and so we're going to see if we can get to $800,000 before it is all done here this evening. Now, we're also going to be walking our way through the proceedings here tonight, so why don't we get ready to kind of go through. The Georgia players aren't here yet. Some of the dignitaries are starting to arrive, and so we'll show you some of that. We're going to have some great conversations here this evening. I'm going to walk this way over here to the other side, and we're going to start seeing who we can talk to tonight. Obviously some special guests, and in addition to our live broadcast here this evening, you want to watch out right there. Our cameraman's working backwards here, so I'm going to try to help him. I'm going to help him not fall off here and fall down. We've got some special guests who are going to be joining us. We may get a chance to catch up with a great former dog here coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're also going to talk this evening to some former players who are near and dear to Coach Richt and some people who are kind of helping him with all of his efforts as great work is being done for Parkinson's disease research, Crohn's disease research here tonight. Already had a chance to hear from University of Georgia President Jerry Moorhead. What a thing that was. The entire DawgNation team is here tonight. I see Jeff Sintel right over there. We've got a great DawgNation lane over here. I got my bowling shirt on tonight. A lot of the folks representing DawgNation are also wearing those too. So we're going to have a great time. We're going to get a chance to talk to a lot of folks tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to catch up with David Pollock here in a minute. Why don't we keep going for right now, and we'll catch up with David here in just a bit. Obviously, a lot of this is kind of loose and on the fly tonight, but it's all done for a great cause. So make sure you check out ricksdawgbowl.com. That's ricksdawgbowl.com. You can give, you can participate, and you can really answer the challenge. You've heard Mark Richt as he's been on DawgNation Daily over the recent weeks, as he's been on Mike's show, Cody's show, On the Beat, challenging Georgia fans to participate and be a part of this. In fact, let me bring in Jeff Sintel right here for a moment. Jeff Sintel, step on in here just for a second. We're live across all the DawgNation video channels right now. Jeff's got his bowling shirt on. Got the camera out too. One of the things we're already seeing here tonight in Athens, Georgia, the tremendous response from Georgia fans who are clearly answering the challenge to help Coach Richt and be a part of a really fun event that raises a tremendous sum of money for a wonderful cause, Parkinson's disease research, Crohn's disease research. What does that mean personally for you?
Means a lot. I mean, you're using your platform to elevate to, I guess, 5-star worthy causes, Brandon. And I've already had kind of a goosebumps moment. This is the second annual edition. And you saw Coach Donnan walk in and talk to Coach Richt, and they were slapping backs and telling some stories season, it really looked like, it's great to have Coach Don in here, the past, present, and the future of Georgia football. Those two coaches together like that meant something to me.
No, I think it absolutely did too. And I love the fact that we can do something like this, which is obviously important, but also have some fun while we do it. That's one of the things I think that Coach Richt's spirit has always kind of instilled, that, hey, you can do the right thing, you can be about the right things, but there's no reason why you can't have fun while you're doing it. And I think he clearly does a good job of continuing to embody that, and clearly tonight you see a lot of folks who are following his lead.
Yeah, we're hearing some early word, Braden, about Bulldogs that will be assigned to lanes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've heard names like Carson Beck will be here.
How about that?
Jalen Walker. And Braden, a little birdie told me that there will be quarterbacks on the DawgNation lane. So that just goes to show you, DawgNation and quarterbacks, they're like that. I know this guy loves a good quarterback.
Indeed. So we're going to get a chance to see that. You'll get a chance to watch that here tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. Jeff, thanks for stopping by and being a part of all this. I certainly appreciate that. We'll continue to make our way over here. Obviously, the folks from Chick-fil-A making the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl possible. Now, if there's going to be Chick-fil-A, that means there's going to be plenty of Chick-fil-A food, too. So don't think we might not get some of these chips and some of these cookies before it's all said and done. That's always a big part of all of that. I also see our buddy Mike Griffith over here, too. If Mike's got time, let's see if we can talk to him just for a moment, because in the case of Mike, Mike, you've really been kind of instrumental in a lot of ways in helping all of this happen. And you've obviously, known Coach Richt. You've got to know him very well. And as someone who has had kind of a vision for how this could appear on DawgNation's video channels, what does this event mean to you personally?
Well, it means a lot. And Brandon, I think a lot of it has to do with you. When Mark Richt called me, I guess a little over a year ago, and said he wanted DawgNation to stream this. And obviously you've built up quite a following with DawgNation Daily every day at 10 a.m. A lot of the people watching this tonight see you every day. But I just think it says a lot about what our brand has done out there, the fact that Mark would call us, and now we get the opportunity to help Mark out with a charity. I know they raised $750,000 last year. This year the goal is $800,000. Kirby Smart jumped all in. And I'll never forget, I told Mark, I said, you just need to go to one of Kirby's press conferences and talk. And he said, think he'd let me do that? I go, Kirby really doesn't want to talk to us. I think he would be just fine with that, Mark.
And it's amazing. We'll get a chance before we're done tonight to hear from Kirby Smart live on our broadcast. It is amazing how open and receptive, and this is a busy time of year for Kirby, and we all know how he's wired. That story's been told a million times. But the fact that he puts his full energy and his full effort in this event, I find that to be so inspiring. He's clearly as influenced by Coach Richt as so many of us are, and clearly, pushing to make this as big as it can be. I'd love to see the side of Kirby Smart that we get to show in a night like this. I think it's great.
Yeah, hard to believe. Kirby Smart was a running backs coach for Mark Richt, and Mark had hired him knowing he wanted to put him on defense, but he didn't have a slot. So he said, well, go coach running backs. But to your point, yeah, this is time that Kirby budgets. Every second of Kirby's life is accounted for. You got that why thing he does with the teammates, the skull sessions. Well, this is designated team time too, and this is designated community time and thank you time for Kirby to Mark Richt, and also recognizing that he's doing a lot for charity just by being here. And his guys love it. You're going to see later on, this is not, these guys aren't drug out here. There's more guys than there are lanes. They want to be here and compete, Brandon.
And we'll show it to you in video. It's so great to see. These guys are so into it. I love that side of the Georgia players. We get a chance to see on a night like tonight. Mike, enjoy it. Thanks for being here. Everybody watching live on video, you'll get a chance to see that too. But this is not just a spectator sport tonight. We're going to invite you to participate in this as well. ricksdawgbowl.com, that's the website. We want you to give. We want you to be a part of it. Help us raise $800,000 tonight in pursuit of better treatment and eventually a cure for Parkinson's disease and Crohn's disease. So many of us know people who've been dealing with their own personal stories when it comes to these diseases or other afflictions, the way in which the Isaacson Center is helping lead the way on research on. Help celebrate those personal stories tonight and honor those personal stories with your gift if you can. Let me bring in Kaylee Manziel too. Obviously, Kaylee's a huge part of what we do around DawgNation, and tonight Kaylee's going to have her own video stuff going on too. So in addition to our live broadcast, which I'm thrilled to be able to broadcast, Kaylee's going to be recording her own set of videos, and a lot of those are going to be appearing on the DawgNation video channels. And Kaylee, you had a chance to be a part of this last year. I guess that was one of the first things you'd kind of done with us.
Yeah.
What did you experience last year, and what's that like, and what are you looking forward to tonight?
I think once you get to the middle part of this season, you need a reminder that there are things outside of football. When wins like Texas happen, you kind of get caught up in the X's and O's of everything. This reminds you that these players players are human, and we're still working for something that's way greater than ourselves. And to see everyone here supporting a good cause, there's no better feeling than that.
I think that's absolutely right. And obviously, I think one of the things you're looking forward to doing tonight, you showed us the photo, and your dad has shared this with me before, and I think we put this on the screen in the past. A very young Kaylee Mansell celebrating Jarvis Jones. Jarvis, one of the former players we're expecting to see tonight.
Yeah.
Should be kind of a fun moment if you get a chance to show him that photo, right?
I'm really excited. We had to go through the archives to find the photo. It's a poster board, me, 6th grade, the first Georgia game I can remember going to, and it said Jarvis Jones for president. And the funny part about it is, I mean, he was just a kid then, but this year he's 35, so he could actually run if he wanted to. So hopefully I'll get the chance to see him tonight and be able to show that.
Well, either way, Kaylee, you're always doing a great job. Appreciate that. Y'all check out Kaylee's videos herself. She's going to be doing some great ones. Also, we've got some really good news to give you right now, too. In just the time that we've been on and just the time that we've been together here today, another $10,000 has already been raised. So that's tremendous news. We're going to celebrate all of these milestones as they take place. We're proud of the work the University of Georgia does. We love the fact that so many of the Georgia football players are involved in all of this. We're going to be celebrating all that. And speaking of great former Georgia Bulldogs, does it get any better than this right now? So this is my great friend, like a lot of friends in 2024. I see him in person like twice a year, it seems like. But when I do, I'm always glad to do it, even though it makes me feel short. John, we obviously, I know what Coach Richt means to you, and I know all he's got to do is ask, and you're out there and being a part of an event like this. What does it mean to you to support him and support a great cause tonight?
Well, it's a no-brainer. It's so easy because, one, you get to support a coach that stands for so much more than just the game, but also it's a great cause, and you can help support all those that are willing to come out and financially donate and get behind a great cause.
I think it's absolutely right. And as we were talking to Mike about a moment ago, I also love the fact that it's fun. You know, I love the fact that Georgia football just beat the #1 team in the country last week, and everybody's happy about that. But it's also all smiles all throughout here. You know, it's one of those things where you can look around and you can see everybody really having a good time. We're going to have a special treat here in a moment that it's just sort of symbolic of the night it is. Like, I love the fact that not only are people here to support Coach Richt and help raise money, but the fact that you can look around and see all of the happiness that exists here. That's such a, I guess, a life-affirming thing in many ways.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure the fans would have been here whether win or lose on Saturday, but boy, does it make it so much better when they win. And you know, there's a reason for all these smiling faces, and it's not because of all the strikes. It's because you get to combine great things, being a Georgia Bulldog for a great cause.
So in a couple of minutes, the Georgia team itself is going to make its way out here. I understand that Coach Richt is actually meeting with them at this moment, and I love the fact that the Georgia players get into this so much. Now, the truth is, they love bowling, so that's fun for them. But I think they also like the idea of getting a chance to relax a little bit, and they deserve that. Y'all, it's such a long season. As a player yourself, you can speak to that so well. Such a long season. To be able to have a night where it's just about fun, it's about being relaxed, it's about using the fame and the attention they get for a great cause. I love their spirit in all of this.
Yeah, based on last year, you came and they were having as good, if not a better time than most of the patrons that paid to be here. So, you know, one, they get to play games. They're big kids anyway, as we all know, and two, it's a fun time to come out and relax a little bit.
I believe they're about to make their way out here. John, best of luck tonight. Thanks for being with us.
I appreciate it, B.A.
Great stuff from John Stinchcomb. Of course, you see him each week here as a part of DawgNation Daily. John's a great guy and certainly somebody who's always a big part of all the great things going on in the UGA community there, too. So the Georgia players are coming this way. Is that right? They're going to be coming right here. So we're going to get on this side right here. We're going to see the Georgia team come out here in a moment. We're also going to have a special surprise, too, I believe, that we're going to try to bring you live on video. We're also going to be a little casual here, too. Is this an okay spot, we think, to kind of get them coming through? This should be pretty good. So in a moment, you're going to see them. So you watch Georgia players every Saturday. This is a chance to see a very different side of them here tonight, and I know that's going to be fun. And I believe, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but right over here, too, I think we're going to have another really cool thing taking place. Then after that, when the actual event begins itself, we've got the ability to kind of move from lane to lane tonight. We'll talk to former players. We'll show you current players. We're going to hear live from Kirby Smart. We'll hear live from Coach Richt. And then eventually, by the end of the night, we're going to crown a champion. They're going to walk away with those championship belt, and we're going to have a good time with that. So the players should be here in a few minutes, and we'll get a chance to show that to you when it happens. I got Connor Riley here, too. Let me see if I can get Connor to step over here. You mind popping on for a second? obviously the entire DawgNation team on hand. And, you know, Connor, obviously, for me, it's a personal sense of pride, the fact that DawgNation gets to be involved and be a part of an event like this tonight. How about for you? How great is it to show up wearing the DawgNation colors, knowing that we're helping Coach Richt raise some money for a great cause?
Yeah, I know. Mark Richt was the head coach for my entire, when there was football season during my college career. It's obvious he means a ton to this university and to really the whole Athens area as well. And so for DawgNation to get a chance to tell this story tonight, to get to be a part of this in a small way, I think speaks to just how special Mark Richt still is to the University of Georgia. Even now, it has now been almost a decade since he's been the head coach here.
Yeah, I think so too. And I was going to ask you, when you think about your career as a student, some of those Georgia wins from that time, like I obviously have great memories of the first few years of Mark Richt. I was actually lucky enough, such a great time in my life to be in Knoxville in 2001 for the Hobnail Boo game, traveling to all those games as just a fan in 2002 when Georgia's winning at Alabama and winning the SEC East at Auburn and obviously bringing home an SEC championship for the first time in 20 years. With all of that, those are great memories for me. When you think about your era as a Georgia student, what stands out to you?
It's actually, and it's been in the news recently, Auburn, just the way it worked out where Auburn was given an extra home game and thus Georgia lost one, which has still never been made up. We do not forget that. In 2014, it was the one Auburn home game. It was a night game, 2 top 15 teams. Todd Gurley's first game back post-suspension, and just an all-time electric atmosphere. That game meant a ton. 2013, 44-41, Georgia LSU, a great win for Mark Richt that day there. So while there were some not great ones, we're not going to talk about what happened in 2015. Some great moments, some great memories, some great home wins in that time there, along with the 2012 win in Jacksonville, which I know you and I texted about this weekend. I felt like there were a lot of similarities between the Georgia-Texas game this weekend and the Florida-Georgia game back in 2012.
And one of the stars of that game, Jarvis Jones, expected to be here tonight. Connor, great stuff. Thank you for being here. We'll also get ready to bring on another special guest here as well. Obviously, kind of the first lady of this event, if you will, Miss Catherine Richt here, joining us here. And boy, I tell you what, on behalf of everybody for DawgNation, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate the chance. It's really a privilege for us to help raise money. We love Coach Richt. Everyone, of course, does. But to have this opportunity to be a part of this, we believe it's a great cause. It's just a fun night. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this.
Oh, we're so glad to have you guys, and we're so glad everybody's coming. But we're really thankful for Kirby and for him allowing us to use his players. That's huge.
Well, obviously, you understand this, too, as a wife of a coach for such a long time. The fall is so intense. The season is such a grind. Sometimes it feels like that way for us as media and fans. I know it for coaches, players, and their families. That's especially true. So, for these guys, as you mentioned, the players and Kirby and some of his staff, to be able to step away and be a part of that, it's probably a good break for them, but it's also great to see them wanting to be here and just be a part of the festivities. I think for a lot of our audience, they love seeing this side of the Georgia play.
That's right. They like to have a good time, that's for sure. And actually, Kirby will be having a good time. I think he's bowling tonight, so we'll see how he does.
We'll look forward to seeing that. Before we let you go, I got to ask him, obviously for you, the Georgia football experience was such a family affair. We saw you in the sidelines all the time. You were doing the water and things like that. For so many of us, those are great memories for us of a time in which Georgia football was really kind of on its way back and so many wins. We were just reminiscing about some of those. What are your memories like when you think back on that era and how special that was to be a part of Georgia football then?
Oh gosh, it was awesome. I mean, it is one of the best atmospheres in college football, bar none. And I just remember standing there at the water table and listening to the crowd and everybody yell and just the excitement. I loved the blackout. I was mixing juices, all kinds of different juices, and having fun. It was there's a lot of great memories at Georgia. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. And on a serious note, before we let you go, obviously tonight's about raising a lot of money. We're already hearing success stories about the money that's being raised. Coach Richt issues the challenge. Of course, people are going to answer that call. Talk to us from a personal standpoint here for a moment about, for the Richt family, the importance of the Crohn's disease research and the Parkinson's disease research and the way in which the University of Georgia and the Isaacson Center can help lead the way on better treatments, eventually a cure. Talk about that from the perspective of your family, about what this means to you all personally.
So our granddaughter was diagnosed with Crohn's at 11 months old, and at that time, that was the youngest person that had ever been diagnosed with Crohn's. So we were just like blown away. And you know, right now there's no cure for Crohn's or for Parkinson's, and so we are just thankful to Dr. K and everybody up there, his wife, and everybody involved for trying to do their best. There are some very brilliant people, and we're hoping they can come up with some good medications and maybe hopefully a cure, Lord willing.
And certainly $800,000 tonight raised would certainly go a long way towards helping them do that.
Yes.
Ms. Richt, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. We're very proud to be here with you tonight, and enjoy the evening, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Great stuff there from Catherine Richt, the obviously wife of Mark Richt, and boy, someone we love and someone we're so proud of, and I tell you, doing a great job of sort of speaking to that personally about what all of this means here this evening. Now, in addition to seeing the current Georgia players going through their bowling, we're also going to get a chance to hear from some former Georgia players too, including over here to my right. In a moment, we're going to see if we can pull him over here. Now, that's a big guy to try to pull over, but we're going to try to get David Pollock here in a little bit. We'll talk to him live about everything that he sees happening here tonight, and obviously the fun of where things stand with this Georgia team here at the moment. David, always a great guy to talk to. We'll get a chance to do that. David Pollock joining us here live right now.
I'm hoping this is a bowling shirt, right?
It is a bowling shirt.
Okay, thank God.
Hey, do you think it looks okay?
I could see you wearing that normally, so I was just making sure we did.
I mean, listen, if I had a physique like yours, I'd wear whatever, but since I don't quite have that, I'm going to have the loose-fitting clothes. To sort of
shirtless.
Oh, yeah, listen, I don't know about that. But, David, we're glad to have you here tonight, and I know how much Coach Richt means to you. How much fun is it to be a part of something like this?
If Coach Richt was doing this in the Middle East, I'd be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't matter where it is. I know what's in his heart, and I just support everything about him. And so, and this was really fun last year. Like, we had a blast. So, good to be back.
And don't you love the fact that, I mean, you know him personally, you obviously interacted with him during your Georgia career, but the sense that I get is that so many of the people that are watching us right now, they kind of feel the same way. They don't have the same personal interactions with him you do, but they were led by his obviously his influence and his leadership and his spirit. They recognize that. They know this man is the real deal of all real deals. And I just think that they're as willing to do whatever as you are, even though your personal relationship is obviously much deeper than many of theirs would be.
It's easy to get behind people that live their way in a life that you respect. Like Coach Richt's always handled himself and everyone else with such respect and kindness, and so I think that you can feel it. It's genuine. He was my spiritual dad when I got to college, and it was fantastic of what I got to learn of how he handled people, how he handled the mob of people, because Georgia fans like love their guys and show so much support. And as an 18-year-old, you're like, holy cow, like what's going on? And you're drinking out of a fire hose, and he's like, man, just love on people, be right, do the right things. And so I think that's why it makes it easy to relate to a guy that's continued to live his life like that.
I think what I was influenced by, and I know you got a lot you want to do tonight, so I'll be respectful of your time, but I think what I was influenced by, we know how intense the SEC is. We also know that Coach Richt is as competitive as anybody, but he found a way to be competitive and win a bunch of games. You guys obviously won an SEC championship and a whole lot of wins. He found a way to be competitive while also reminding us all about what truly matters in life. He found a way to do both of those things, still does even to this day, and I think that's probably the thing about Coach Richt I've been influenced by the most is the fact that he never lost sight, never does lose sight of what matters most, even though obviously we live in a world in which the SEC football down here is treated as so important. He always reminded us of what was truly important.
Well, I think that you've always been told a coach has to be this way, and what you saw in the past was dictators, and a lot of times more the first part of that word than the tater part. And so I think when you see him, he's led with love. And where did he get it from? Bobby Bowden. Like, Bobby did that way. He learned that way. Dabo leads that way. And it doesn't have to be just, I'm a jerk, I'm in your face, I'm this. You can lead with love. And he did a good job of that. And everyone feels it. And that's why he's been so successful.
All right, let me squeeze one in before we go.
Squeeze away.
How much did you like what you saw on Saturday?
Well, I knew it was coming, and I thought Georgia would win the football game because when you back a wounded animal in the corner and you tell them they can't do something and they're prideful and they're a good team, like they're going to come out swinging, and I thought we came out swinging. Now listen, Brinson being healthy makes a difference. Michael being healthy makes a difference. Like all that mattered, but I think the energy, the tenacity, the fight was really, really impressive. So nice bounce back, reestablishing yourself. Now you got two top 10 wins, impressive wins from teams that aren't going anywhere. So that was a big statement to make the playoff. Like, you got some more tough games. Ole Miss is still really good. They can score points. Tennessee, back-to-back weeks going to Ole Miss, coming to or at home for Tennessee. So a lot of season left, and the offense has to grow and get better because they were put in every position to succeed and end that game in the first half. But they still struggled, and so they're still going to have to grow and get better. But that defensive front seven, that's what I'm talking about.
I love you, David. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you, brother.
Good stuff there from David Pollock. You love everything he's got going on. Always great stuff there. And we certainly appreciate that. A lot of former players stopping by and being a part of all this here today. In fact, the former Georgia running back Tyson Browning joining us here right now. Tyson, welcome in. Good to have you here. Going to be doing some bowling tonight?
No, my old shoulder won't let me get out there and bowl, but see what I mean? But I'm just here to support Coach, man.
Well, listen, that's what it's all about, supporting him on a night like tonight. And by the way, we're going to encourage everybody, if you want to support Coach Richt as well, go to ricksdawgbowl.com and you can donate and be a part of this the same way that David Pollock was encouraging and everybody else here tonight. That is what it's all about. And how much fun is it to get a chance to be around these guys again and you know, sort of share those old stories and appreciate Coach Richt? How much fun is all of that?
As you can see, some things never change, you know, so it's always good to see my guys. I saw Shockley and Big Dan, Big Stitch, you know, some guys I haven't seen in a while, so it's always good to see the guys, man.
And of course, you were part of an SEC championship, and I remember that so well. You know, you go back to, obviously, when Georgia won the national championship in 2021, for a lot of people, that's, hey, 40 years and breaking that drought. But when you guys won the SEC championship in 2002, that was a 20-year drought. And, you know, we'd had this SEC championship game in Atlanta. Georgia never played in it. And that year, by virtue of going on the road, winning at Auburn, all the other great wins you guys put together, Georgia had a chance to be in that game for the first time. Special moment for Georgia fans kind of my age, certainly. What was it like to be a part of what was in a lot of ways kind of a resurrection for the Georgia program?
Right, you know, I grew up around here. I'm from Oconee County, man, so to see where the program was at and to get an opportunity to be a part of it when Coach Richt took us over that hill, you know, and I always tell guys now I can brag to be a part of Coach Richt's generation here because I believe he turned winning around in Athens. So, yes, we get to all enjoy, you know, the fruits of Kirby winning national championships, but it's amazing what Coach Richt did, and that's why it's so much love for him here in Athens.
And by the way, speaking of what Georgia's doing right now, how much fun is it to watch the success, beating Texas on Saturday, being right back there in the playoff conversation again? How much fun is that for you?
It's good, man. It's great. You know, especially when everybody was doubting us, you know, so it was good to go down there and handle that business, you know. And I played for Kirby also. Yeah. He was my running back coach my
2005, that's right.
Right. So, you know, I still got so much love for him. So to see what he's doing with this program is amazing, man.
It's a little bit different side of Kirby, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball. We have always thought of him as a defensive guy, but you got a chance to see him work with the offensive side. What was that like back then?
He was always Kirby. I tell people, they think that energy and the way he has that tenacity started when he was the head coach. No. He was always that guy. He was always had expectations, and he let you know about him. So he's always been the same Kirby to me.
Well, I'll tell you this before we let you go. It was not a win for Georgia. I will acknowledge that. My favorite moment from your career may have been, do you remember LSU in 2003, that touchdown? At the time, it looked like Georgia might win. That's a team that obviously went on to win the national championship. You had a lot of great moments, but maybe from an individual highlight standpoint, that's always the thing that jumps out at me. But I got great memories of your career, Tyson. We loved your time at Georgia, and so thanks for being with us here today.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Good stuff from Tyson Browning there. Terrific Georgia running back. Worked with Kirby Smart in 2005, a part of an SEC championship in 2002. A guy that we really, really love and very, very proud of. One of those things that's great to be able to see here tonight. So let me reset everything that's going on. If you're just joining us, here's what we're doing here tonight. This is the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. We're live here at a bowling alley in downtown, not downtown Athens, but in the Athens area. And in just a moment, the Georgia Bulldogs themselves, the players, are going to come in. Kirby Smart's going to be here. All of this tonight as a part of a very big challenge from the former Georgia coach, Mark Richt. We're trying to raise $800,000 for Parkinson's disease research, Crohn's disease research, all of this going in the direction of the Isaacson Center. That's a research facility connected to the University of Georgia that's doing great work on Parkinson's, Crohn's, and neurological disorders like that, including, by the way, Alzheimer's is a part of the work that the Isaacson Center is doing. So tonight, that's what all this is about. And we've already had great success. Just today, since we've been on the air, $10,000 more has been raised. We're already in excess of $600,000 for our ultimate goal of $800,000. And it's not just the total money we're looking to see raised. We've also got individual donor goal we're trying to hit there too. Want to see thousands of you tonight make that decision. So even if you can only give a small amount, $5, whatever your total is, no matter what that is, it all adds up tonight to equal something pretty great. Now, you've heard me talking a lot, but in a minute you're going to get a chance to see some cool stuff. We've got a surprise here from our friends at the Red Coat Band we're going to be showing you. The Georgia players are going to be walking through. In fact, I am being told they are here now. So we're only a couple of minutes away from getting a chance to see them and getting a chance to have that come. They're going to kind of come walking right here. So you'll see that. And then after that, we're going to be kind of walking the lanes and giving folks a chance to actually see these Georgia players in action. It's going to be a ton of fun. And of course, eventually tonight we're going to crown a champion. DawgNation's got a lane here on the far end. We've got some great sponsors and some of our friends who are part of that. We've also got other special guests throughout the night we'll be talking to, former players. So we've got all kinds of fun and surprises on the way. And while we're waiting for Georgia to officially arrive, go to ricksdawgbowl.com. You can be a part of that. So to give you an idea of some of the former players, we're also going to get a chance to talk to the former quarterback David Green is here. DJ Shockley is here. We're going to catch up with a lot of these folks here in just a little bit. All of that coming up. But obviously, we're going to hear from Kirby Smart tonight. We're going to hear from Josh Brooks, the Georgia Athletic Director, tonight. All of that is coming. But obviously, the thing that everybody wants to see, these Georgia players in just a moment. And I got to tell you, for some of these guys, the form is not perfect. Who is it? Pete Weber? Is that the guy on? They don't all look like Pete Weber with like the form and the release. Let me tell you something. These guys are also really strong. So when they let that bowling ball go, it collides with those pins, and it's a huge, huge sound. And so you'll get a chance to see that here tonight. And of course, we'll have a lot of great interviews too. Fun to hear from David Pollock a moment ago. Obviously, David talking so much about what we got a chance to see. And I'll tell you, one of the first things that I thought about after the Georgia win against Texas was, okay, good, we all get a chance to be together on Wednesday night. And so the fact that we'll be doing this with the celebratory spirit after the big win against the Longhorns, all of that, so fun, such a great thing to see. And it's good to hear David's interaction on that. If you missed what David said, if you're just joining us, for instance, we did talk to David Pollock a moment ago, and David had some great stuff to say about what Coach Richt means to him, but also about that great win against Texas. So we're obviously thinking a little bit about football tonight on a night where it's mostly about other things. Georgia Athletic Director Josh Brooks is here. We're going to get a chance to talk to Josh in a moment. Obviously, Josh has known Coach Richt for a long time, seen firsthand the impact that he's had on the University of Georgia community. So we'll talk about that. We may kind of find out about some of the other stuff that's going on athletically for UGA here at the moment. Obviously, we had a chance to talk to Kaylee Mansell a little earlier, too. And she'll have her own interviews, her own conversations that'll be taking place here throughout the night. So all of this going on for a moment. We got some of the dignitaries who are starting to kind of file in and make their way here. And we're going to get a chance to talk to some of these guys coming up here in just a moment. So I believe that Josh Brooks is going to join us here. I just saw Kirby Smart just standing to my right here a moment ago. We'll talk to Kirby live. We don't get a lot of chances to do that, but we'll do that live tonight before it's all done here this evening. And we'll see Georgia walking out. Josh Brooks obviously talking to John Stinchcomb here right now. So it's the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. And, Coach Richt will tell you that he's so proud of the work that Chick-fil-A has done and being such a big part of this. In fact, Mr. Cathy, the CEO of Chick-fil-A, expected to be here tonight and be a part of this to give you an idea of how connected Chick-fil-A is in all of this right now. So great sponsors, great work, great things taking place, a lot of former players on hand. All of that is coming up. And we'll get our own chance to sort of judge some of these guys and what kind of bowlers they are and how all of that's going. And speaking of bowling, a guy that was a long time ago a part of some bowling nights around the University of Georgia. It's the athletic director, Josh Brooks, joining us here. Josh, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for really everything that UGA does to make this a great event for Coach Richt and his family.
No, it's special. And anytime we can support Coach Richt and all the great things he's doing, from Coach Smart to President Moore and myself, everybody, we want to be in full full support because he means so much to us and to Athens and the UGA.
We had a chance to talk to President Moorhead about this a little earlier, and you're kind of a athletics lifer, so you understand this. To see multiple generations of the UGA family so connected. I saw Coach Donnan earlier. Coach Richt is obviously leading the way here. Coach Smart is as involved in this as anybody could be. I think for a lot of Georgia fans, and obviously we have so many watching right now, a lot of Georgia fans, that's a really gratifying thing. In a leadership position, what does that mean to you?
It means the world because I tell people all the time, my mission at Georgia is not just about winning championships, it's about developing young men for life. And the fact I started here in 2008, and now to be able to know people like Aaron Murray, Matthew Stafford, Brandon Wood, Danelle Ellaby, AJ Green, on and on, to see those young men now fathers and husbands and community leaders, that's what we're in this for. So now to start seeing generations of that. We were just here with Shockley, Aaron Murray, David Green, others, to see them all in one spot. You know the brotherhood's real and that connection point's awesome.
And by the way, we're about 2 minutes away from the Georgia players arriving. You'll see that live. And I think you and I have, unique perspectives on this because we see the passion of Georgia fans. We see how much they love these players and coaches. And then to see the players leverage that fame for a great cause tonight, I just love that so much that these guys, they could have a night off, I guess, or they could do whatever. Certainly the former players have traveled in to be a part of this, but they know their platform comes with the privilege to help do a good thing, raise some money. I love that that's such a big part of what Georgia football is all about.
Yeah, and when you go back and look when we started in 2020 with Dogs for Pups, all the initiatives they've done from raising money for Wi-Fi cards, food bank, clothing, and a night like tonight, oftentimes in life, we know the media will pick up on something. Anything bad that happens, it gets exploded. But there's so many great things that these young men do. I'm so proud of that I'm proud to be a part of this and support it in any way possible.
Well, Josh, I tell you, we love it. We're thankful to be here with you. Enjoy the night, and we'll hopefully get a chance to talk to you very soon, too.
You got it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, indeed. Josh Brooks there, the former Georgia, current Georgia, still athletic director. We're going to move our way over here, get a chance to see the Georgia Bulldogs when they arrive here. Coming up in just a moment, they are going to be here. They'll be making their way through, having a great time, and doing all of that here tonight. We're going to get in position. In fact, we've got I think a cool surprise going to be taking place here in a minute, too. Coach Richt going to be saying a few words here, so a lot going on. It's all going down. We're going to get a chance to see that. What a night it is. So many special dignitaries here, and the spirit is right. Everybody's enjoying it. The 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. And, of course, you can go to ricksdawgbowl.com, have your chance to give, have your chance to be a part of that. I want to stop talking here for a moment. Can we hear this over here? The Georgia Bulldogs have been announced. That means that they're going to be walking through. You almost expect to see the smoke taking place, the band play. Christian Miller, the first through the door here. How about Jamal Jarrett coming through? Warren Brinson, Dalen Everett, Dan Jackson. The Georgia Bulldogs making their way through here tonight. How great is this to see? Dogs got their jerseys on, coming through, getting ready to bowl, be a part of this. After a long week of practice, here come the Dogs to be a part of the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl here tonight. Cash Jones walks through. We'll see if we can get Cash to give us another horns down before the night is over with. Dogs looking great. London Humphreys got his camo on underneath. Jordan Hall coming through here there as well. Brett Thorson off after a big night. He's on his way in. Something tells me Brett Thorson's probably a pretty good punter. The great former Dog Jarvis Jones is here. The Dogs are here. They're ready to start bowling. It's going to be a great time tonight. And, y'all, that's what it's all about. Everybody coming together to raise money for a great cause. The 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. The Georgia Bulldogs themselves on hand in their jerseys. They're going to be bowling, and everybody's going to be having a good time tonight. It is such a privilege to be a part of all this. And, of course, that privilege comes with responsibility, too. The challenge to raise money, the challenge to be a part of that. The Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl tonight, that is what everybody's all about. And guess what? As an unbelievable gift to us here this evening, and we're about to see a couple more Georgia Bulldogs kind of walk through. We're also going to get a chance to hear from Kirby Smart in just a moment, too. We're going to walk this way for our chance at Kirby. We're going right here. So get a chance to hear from him. Let's talk to the First Lady of Georgia football. We are live, by the way, on the DawgNation video channels. It's Mary Beth Smart here tonight. And Miss Smart, we just appreciate, we're going to, actually, let's pause the national anthem. We'll get a chance to hear after that. Yeah.
National anthem.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem by a trumpeter from the University of Georgia Redcoat Band.
This is Coach Richt here.
Let's move over here and see Coach Richt a little bit more.
The bottom line is,
Coach Richt speaking to the audience here right now. We're going to walk over here and see if we can see more of him.
Thank you so much. I want to thank our sponsors. Obviously, you can see above these lanes all the sponsorship across the board.
Coach Richt right here. We'll see if we can get a little closer.
Everybody. And obviously, Chick-fil-A in particular is our naming group. So thankful for that. Also, I want to thank our players for coming. You guys are awesome to take your time to do this. Coach Smart, thank you for allowing them to come. It means so much. I'm going to go over the rules real quick. In order to win one of those championship belts, there must be 5 people on the team, and the highest single game score, total pins, wins the championship belts, including the player, which is awesome. All right. Also, the highest, and that's a 1-game total, not a 2-game total. The one thing, don't listen to me. Don't erase your score until your scorekeeper comes by and records it, okay? Or it won't count. You might say, oh, I had it. Well, hell, you erased it. So anyway, all right. Also, this year, the highest individual game for the male and female will receive a brand new bowling ball, Bulldog bowling ball. So the high score women, high score men will get a ball for that as well. So if your team sucks and you're a great bowler, you can still win something. All right, listen to this now. If you finish early, just keep bowling for fun and wait just a minute. It might be another 15, 20 minutes till we finally know who the champion is. We'll stop the lanes at that time. We'll hand out the trophies and everybody can go home. And please be safe on the way home. So with that, I got to see what we got next. Okay, who's got the check? Who's got the check?
And get ready for a presentation of the check. You're coming up here live on our video channels.
To Dr. K and his wife, Arthi. I didn't tell him what to send. Dr. K, where you at? Can you get to the middle? He's on the end, probably.
Yeah, he's on the end, Dad.
Which end? Down there. Thank you, honey. Here's the deal. There's a thing called the Isaacson Center for Neurological Disease Research. It's on our campus, and it's one of the best in the country. And we were able to hire Dr. K and his wife, Arthi, from, was it Iowa State?
That's right.
Iowa State.
And they're world-renowned researchers, and we want to present this check to you guys. It's for 600 here, but with the online giving, we hope that it goes to 800,000 this year. And a year ago we were just under 800,000, and 100% of the money goes to y'all's research. Thank you so much, Dr. King. God bless.
What a great thing there. $600,000 check being presented on behalf of the Richt Family Foundation to the Isaacson Center.
I got Parkinson's, okay? I'm slow. So hang on just a second. All right, I already talked about the rules, right?
Yes.
Where am I at? Okay. Now, Colin, by the way, the trumpeter with the Red Coat Band is Colin Kennedy. He played the national anthem, and he's about to play our battle hymn for us. And after that, Kevin Chappie Hines will pray for the event, and then we'll start bowling, okay? And God bless and thank you guys.
A chance to hear the lone trumpeter do the battle hymn of the Bulldog Nation.
Colin hit it. He's probably puckering his lips.
And now a close friend of the Richt family, Kevin Chappie Hines, will say a prayer.
Let's pray. There's too little time and too much to pray for, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So, Father in heaven, we trust that you are God, that your Son is King, and that your Spirit it abides with us. Lord, I want to just thank you for Truett Cathy tonight and the legacy that he left. I want to thank you for Vince Dooley and legacy he left. I thank you for Coach and Catherine and Coach Richt and Catherine and the legacy they're leaving, and for Kirby and Mary Beth for the legacy they're leaving. And we just honor you with this bowling tournament. We pray, Father, you'd give us all wisdom in these crazy times, and that we would just trust and follow Jesus. Father, let us have a wonderful night of fellowship, and it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
And with that, we'll get started. The 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl set to begin. The bowling going to be taking place across all of these lanes. We'll show you some of that. We also going to get a chance to hear from Georgia coach Kirby Smart here too. In fact, let's step back out. Let's try to regroup and see. We were getting close to hearing from Coach Smart and his wife Mary Beth. So we're going to step out and see if we can get a chance to do that, and then we'll get a chance to come in here and see the bowlers after that. So we're going to come over here. Is obviously see a very touching scene there with Dr. K from the Isaacson Center and Coach Richt sharing that moment together. It's a beautiful thing to be able to see, as a check tonight was presented already for $600,000. I can tell you that more money than that has already been raised, and obviously even far more before the night is done. We were going to talk to Miss Smart here earlier, Mary Beth Smart, the First Lady of Georgia football. The national anthem interrupted us, so we'll do that here now. You're as tied to Georgia as anybody could be. You played basketball here, you graduated from here, your family's obviously deeply rooted here. What does it mean to you to see the community come together tonight like this?
Oh, I love this. I mean, I think it speaks volumes to how many people love the Richts. To see so many how many of their former players are here in the community, how they're able to raise this much money in like 3 hours is just a testament to how much people love the Richts. I think it's great.
No, I think it's right. And I think that, you and Kirby have, not very many people understand what it's like to be a football coach and a football coach's wife. You guys understand that so well. So to see the way that the Richt family has always demonstrated how to do a good job of being that family, I'm sure that must mean something even more special to you, because you have a different perspective on how to actually do that.
True, and I've always looked up to Catherine so much and how she just leads with grace and stays under the radar, and I think that's a lot of people don't do that way. So I've always admired her, and if people look at the Smarts and the way they do at the Richts one day, I think I will be 100% good with that.
And then before we let you go, obviously on video tonight, some of our folks will see the players, a little bit different side of them. We see them very intense on the football field. This is the more relaxed version, coming together for a good cause. I think it's good for our audience to see these guys doing this sort of thing, because it's the kind of thing that if all you ever do is go to a game in the stadium or see a team play on television, you don't see that part of Georgia football.
100%. I mean, I enjoy it too. I'm around them most of the time when they're super stressed and intense and in their suits and pads. And so I enjoy this part of it too. I think it's great for everybody to see. They're real people. They're human beings.
Well, I know it's a busy night for you, so thanks for being a part of this with us here, and enjoy the night. Okay?
Yeah, go Dogs.
Go Dogs indeed. Mary Beth Smart, how great is that to get a chance to talk to her? You always love to see that. We're also going to get a chance to talk to Kirby Smart here. I also see a guy that we love, the former Georgia quarterback, David Green. We're going to talk to David tonight. One of the things I'm going to slip in with David is David's also a big part of our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame on Saturday. So we're going to get a chance to celebrate that with him as he gets ready to go in there on that here this evening. And then after that, we're just going to kind of soak it up and sort of watch all of this take place. What a cool night this is as Georgia comes together for the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl, raising, the goal is $800,000. We're already in excess of $600,000, more money being raised. And the cool thing is, the same way all of this is going on here this evening, you have your chance to be a part of that too. Please go to ricksdawgbowl.com. Remember, there's no apostrophe in that. It's just ricksdawgbowl.com. You'll see that on your screen. You can help us as we raise a goal tonight of $800,000 for the Isaacson Center, for Parkinson's disease research, for Crohn's disease research, and all the other great neurological diseases they're taking care of. How about the coach himself, Kirby Smart, joining us here tonight? And Coach, we were talking to your wife a moment ago. I think this is just sort of a cool thing to look out on and see the way the players come together for a night like this. Everywhere you look, everybody's happy and having a good time. What does this mean for you personally?
Well, it means a lot to me because I know what it means to Coach Richt. And I had a grandfather that had Parkinson's, my mom's dad, and it touches me that he still gives back to this community. Obviously, we've got several players that have Crohn's disease. So when you get an opportunity to give back to your community, I think it's incredible to do that. And our players love it. So our players like winning, so they want to wear this belt.
Yeah, we've already shown the belts. They're a very cool thing to see. In the case of Coach Richt, you know, obviously we know the personal health challenge that he's dealing with, but in my personal conversations with him, we've had him on my show and things like that. This is a guy that the best that I can tell is still leading as well as he's ever led, and I think that's a tremendous personal testimony for him, and I'm sure you would agree with that too.
Oh, he's a coach at heart. He's tough. He's got a great family. I mean, look what he's done with this community, Miss Catherine and all his kids. John's a great coach. Coach Richt's just a pillar in the community, and he's meant so much to me in my career. Having worked for him for a year and been around him, you just love the man.
And obviously you talked before, you know, in a joking way, your players want to win. They like the idea of the belt. But the sense that I also get too is these guys understand the fame they have. They understand the love they have from the rest of Georgia fans. Leveraging that for a good cause here tonight, that's something that they also seem to have a real sense of the impact they can make on the community by doing something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's a platform for them. They have a platform. They want to give back. They like bowling, and they know it means a lot. And we've had several coaches stand up in front of our team and explain what Coach Richt meant to them. And when Coach Hartley, Coach Bobo, Coach Searles, Jarvis Jones, Jonas Jennings all talk about Coach Richt and what he's done for this community, all these kids want to get back to that.
Well, you're the ultimate scout. Nobody has a better game plan than you. How have you scouted these guys? Who do you expect to bowl the best tonight?
Well, I saw Warren Brinson with a belt, so that tells me that he's a former winner or he's a fraud. I don't know which one, but he must be the best bowler. There's a lot of them talking noise back and forth.
We were joking earlier. I don't know about the form, but these guys throw it hard, though.
Oh, God. The pins are not safe. A couple of them last year, I mean, they'll crack the pins now.
Well, listen, Coach, we appreciate your time. I know it's a busy week. Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. Nice shirt. We love it.
I appreciate that. Coach Richt there stopping by to be a part. I mean, Coach Smart there stopping by to be a part of all of this. What a cool thing that is to be able to see, and I just love that from him. I love the chance to get in here and be a part of this and do all of this here tonight. We've also got another special guest we're going to get a chance to talk to. How about the former quarterback showing up here tonight? David Green, it's great to be able to see you. Obviously, you'll have the left-handed form out there tonight, the former left-handed quarterback.
Well, I would like to. I haven't bowled probably since this time last year, but it's like riding a bike, man. You just got to find the groove and then stay in it.
It's also a big weekend weekend as well. I don't want to give your secrets away here, but on Saturday, you and I get a chance to be together as you go into the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Obviously celebrating your great career at South Gwinnett. Going to be a fun night as we kind of look back on that. And obviously, you've been a part of the Georgia football scene, both high school and college, ever since then. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Well, I can't wait to come back. And look, I think the thing I'm most excited about, I got like 10 of my high school buddies, teammates. They're coming to the event and staying tonight. So it'll be fun to get to hang out with those guys. My wife's coming. Some of my old coaches will be there too. So just getting to kind of relive those glory days at South Gwinnett, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Whether it's Georgia teammates, South Gwinnett teammates, the bond that players have with each other, teammates have, nothing comes in between that, right?
And look, and it's even like tonight, just getting to see some former coaches, some former players, just some former staff that have been on the team. Bobo, Coach Richt, Coach Golf, a lot of folks that we'd see when we were here that we don't get to see on a daily basis. So always look forward to something like this when we get together with everybody.
So when you left Georgia, you were essentially the winningest quarterback in NCAA history at the time. So you had a lot of success with Mark Richt. And as a offensive quarterback-minded head coach, you worked closer with him than almost any player on the team would have been. What did you learn about Coach Richt in a way that the rest of us might not know from that very close interaction you would have had with him?
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, I think most folks from the outside didn't realize how competitive he was. And you see, like just here, he talks about the belt, winning the belt. We can see he's competitive here. But, on game day, he always had such a calm demeanor. And he would tell us, he would say, look, I have to stay calm as a coach, as a play caller, or else I'll get rattled. I don't think clearly. But the fans didn't see that. They just thought maybe he lacked juice at times. Extremely competitive, had a lot of fire to him. And as we all know, he's just a fantastic man. I mean, I was blessed to be able, from 18 to 21, be able to spend so much time with a man as awesome as he is.
We've obviously talked a lot over the years. I know how much you still love your alma mater. Go out there and beat Texas on Saturday, still right in the thick of the whole playoff conversation. Great, tremendous run Georgia's been on. I know that's a lot of fun for you to see too, right?
We're fortunate. We're blessed as Georgia fans right now. I mean, look at the run over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, at one time we had won 40 home games, 40 regular season games in a row. I mean, we're spoiled. I've got a 7-year-old that doesn't really remember Georgia ever really losing very much, right? So what Coach Smart has done with his football program is amazing. And this day and age, it's never been harder, to kind of stay on top, and the kind of juice he brings on a day-to-day basis is pretty remarkable.
Well, David, I love having you here tonight. It's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the evening. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, indeed. The great former Georgia quarterback, David Green, one of our favorites, a guy that we've been lucky enough to have on DawgNation daily a lot over the years, and obviously someone who does a great job of telling those personal stories about what Mark Richt means to him. Why don't we get ready to do this? We're going to walk through and see some of the bowling. Before we do, let's kind of remind folks what we're all playing for here tonight. Can we go here and see this one more time? So these are, and by the way, how about the milkshakes coming out? We may have to, how about this from the milkshake standpoint? That's a real milkshake, folks. That's a cookies and cream Chick-fil-A milkshake. That's the real deal right there. It's obviously the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. But in addition to that, so this is what we're playing for tonight. Coach Smart mentioned this a moment ago. These are the championship belts. Warren Brinson, a part of the team that won those a year ago. You've also got the Georgia-themed bowling balls here. That's a great thing to see. Now, I promise I'm not going to slurp this milkshake the entire time I'm on camera. I am going to get one more sip out of it, though. It's good to see you. Let me tell you something. You cannot beat a Chick-fil-A milkshake. I'm telling you right now, that hits really, really good. All right, so why don't we do this? Let's go all the way down to the end, and then we'll work our way back across, give you a chance to see the bowling as it unfolds, as it takes place. Georgia folks are here. By the way, a great job by the lone trumpeter from the Red Coat Band. He just walked by a moment ago. So we're going to get a chance to see all of this coming through here. And obviously, this is going to be loose. It's going to be casual because, pretty clearly everybody's trying to enjoy themselves. It's very crowded here. So we're going to walk through. We're going to get a chance to see this. All kinds of special guests on hand here, many of which we'll get a chance to talk to. So we're going to do a lot of this here tonight. Why don't we swing this way and come through right here, see what we get a chance to see. We'll try not to have camera inception here with Kaylee Manziel and her folks over here on this side. But we'll get a chance to show some of the Georgia guys right here. And then are we okay just going to get in here on this, you think? Okay, so we're going to come through here, get a chance to see it all taking place here. You see Chaz Chambliss there. You see Cash Jones over there. We'll slide over here and see if we get a chance to see some folks bowling. Jared Wilson over here too. As it takes place here, some of these scores going down. We'll let them enjoy their night here tonight. Oh, wait. Fun evening indeed as a part of the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. Jared Wilson, by the way, doing a great job cheering for his teammates there. Great to get that level of support from him. Over here, you got some of the defensive players. How about Dalen Everett, the day that he had against Texas on Saturday? So instrumental there. Freshman sensation KJ Bolden. Jordan Hall over there. They're rooting on their teammates. We'll show you some of this here for a moment. And don't forget, check out ricksdawgbowl.com. You can get a chance to give on this. You see a couple of Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, and how about this? What a great night this is. To see some of the kids getting a chance to walk over and get some autographs like that. KJ and Jordan signing those. Such a good thing to be able to see. I'm telling you right now, I love being on video for things such as this because, you know, this is the version of Georgia football that people need to see and notice. It's so cool. And by the way, how much do you love that oversized hat there? That's a cool thing. Boy, what a cool moment. You love to see that. By the way, DawgNation not the only ones tonight that have also brought out the red and black theme. Here's KJ Bolden to bowl for us here. KJ gonna set himself up for the spare there. I believe he got 7 of those pins knocked down. Gonna set himself up in the spare. Off to the left, maybe just a little bit. KJ going to try to pick up the spare. It is going to be just off to the left. Wide left, just a little bit. KJ Bolden missing his chance at the spare. But listen, on the football field where it counts, KJ's coming up big for UGA here this year. I mentioned a moment ago, DawgNation not the only one with red and black themed bowling shirts here. One of our teams also wearing those too. That's a cool thing to see. As everybody's having a good time tonight, and we're like right here in the middle of it all. And if you want to, we'll keep moving on down this way. We'll see what else we see. Hey, everybody having a good time here tonight, having some fun. Glad to see that. By the way, we got the DawgNation bowling shirt on. You guys got your bowling shirt on. Looks really good.
Yeah, we got a whole team.
Looks really good. See, that's kind of the part of the fun tonight. And how about this from Carson Beck, who's got his on there too. So Beck just picking that up, delivering that with the intensity you'd expect to see. We'll see if we can get a shot of Carson rolling one of these again here in a minute too. Folks having a good time and enjoying it here this evening. You got the Dogs rolling here tonight as a part of the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. What a great evening, raising a lot of money for a great cause. Some of the running backs are over here. You see Chauncey Bowens. We're also going to get a chance to talk here in just a moment to Aaron Murray, the terrific former Georgia quarterback. Getting a chance to hear from him is always a treat and a pleasure. We're going to talk to him in just a moment. The bowling continues while we wait for that. We'll also see if we can hang out here too, and we'll see if we can get a chance to show Carson bowling again if he indeed does that. Okay, so we're going to hear from Aaron Murray. We're going to see Carson Beck bowl again. We'll try to show you that to you. I didn't quite realize that Carson was on that team a moment ago. By the way, the great former dog DJ Shockley is here tonight in his capacity as a part of the television crew. So you love to see that. A lot of fun here going down. Special guests all throughout. If you're just joining us, really worth going back and also getting a chance to see some of the stuff we've already had a chance to show you. We talked to Kirby Smart a little earlier, live on our airwaves here. Had a chance to talk to Kirby Smart. What a great thing that was. Mary Beth Smart, also former dogs like John Stinchcomb and David Pollock, David Green a moment ago. All of this going down. A very special night in honor of a great cause, the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. And obviously that's going to continue. More special guests. We'll kind of work our way through here and get a chance to see all of this. And obviously hear from some of the folks to interview too. And if you want to know more about what all of this goes towards, a moment ago earlier, it was a great thing to see on video, Dr. K from the Isaacson Center. This is a research facility connected to the University of Georgia. Dr. K and his family moving to UGA from Iowa State, where they were previously employed. And by the way, we'll tell you more about that here coming up. We got a special guest joining us right now. It's been a night of quarterbacks in many ways, and another one of those, the great former quarterback Aaron Murray here with us live on DawgNation tonight. Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
I'm just jealous of your shirt right now.
Got the bowling shirt on?
You go throw a couple strikes, you got to take that off. I mean, come on.
Well, so here's the thing. My rule is if you can't be a bowler, you should at least look like a bowler. I probably have the physique for bowling. You know, not a lot of sports I have the physique for. Maybe for bowling that's the case. But obviously, Aaron, you know Coach Richt. You've been influenced by him. What does a night like this mean to you?
Oh, it's what Coach Richt has meant to me, my family. I go on and on and on. I mean, he's the reason why I came to Georgia. He's the reason why, you know, I left the state of Florida, didn't go to Florida State, Miami, is because once I got to know Coach Richt and the man he is and, you know, what he would do for me as not only a football player, but as a young adult turning into a man, he's, like I said, I give him a lot of credit for who I am to this day. So, you know, obviously we were all very devastated when we heard the news that he had Parkinson's a few years ago, but the man that he is, to take that and to be able to give back now and raise funds and do events like this, and just continue to fight. I mean, that dude's working out like every day in incredible shape.
And I'll tell you what inspires me. I heard him speak about a month or so ago. He was at an event I was at, and man, I mean, obviously Parkinson's disease is a very serious thing. That's one of the reasons why we're raising money tonight. His message was as clear as ever. Yep. The point he was trying to drive home was as unmistakable as ever. And as you say, both physically with the workouts, I know he's into the boxing and stuff like that. Like his dedication to being the best that he can be, even through the physical challenge that he's dealing with, frankly, it ought to inspire us all, and I believe it probably does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, when he first got diagnosed and, you know, I was around him, you know, we'd see each other all the time. He looks better now than he did when he first got diagnosed. Like, that is just because it gets progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. But, like, he's someone that just said, you know what, I'm going to fight this. Like you alluded to, you know, his son has the D1 gyms. He's doing the boxing. He goes up to the facility, does the walk around the track. So he's not someone that was going to sulk and mourn and go into a corner. Like, he was going to fight this thing and do what he could.
We talked to David Green a moment ago. One of the things I talked to David about was all these players know Coach Richt, but as a quarterback, you knew him even better. It's just a different kind of relationship. He's a quarterback-minded head coach. You were his starting quarterback for so many years. You know, I imagine the intimate nature of that relationship probably gives you a different vantage point than almost anybody else could have.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was a friend. I mean, he was someone that I could go to. I mean, that was a good thing about having Bobo and Coach Richt, both former quarterbacks that I could, you know, talk to about life, talk to about how to deal with being a quarterback at a big-time university. So, you know, him and I would meet regularly to talk about all that stuff, and it was nice to have another set of eyes too. You know, not only have Bobo's perspective on like how I could get better, how I should run the offense, but I mean, the offense was originally Richt's. So to have him be there to guide my development as well was, I think, you know, extremely crucial for me to get to where I was, you know, freshman year to then obviously senior year.
We'll finish with this. As someone who's still as plugged into the game as you are, and obviously, you know, proud of your alma mater, how much fun is it to still see Georgia still right in the middle of the playoff chase, winning on the road at Texas? Obviously, these players getting a well-deserved break tonight. But listen, they're as much a part of this as they've ever been. I know that's still a lot of fun for you to watch.
Well, first off, the football has been amazing to watch the past few years, to see Georgia turn into the team that we all knew they would be. And we were close during my time at Georgia of kind of getting to that top, but to see Kirby take that and take it to bigger and better heights has just been unbelievable. And as now a fan and a proud letterman of Georgia, every single week to know that we have the best coach football team in America, the resources because of the fans, the dedication from the fans. It's fun, man. Hey, winning's fun, and we win a lot of football games.
Aaron, it's great to talk to you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
That's the former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray here tonight as we raise money for a great cause. Parkinson's disease, Crohn's disease research. It's the Isaacson Center. We're getting ready to do that. By the way, we're already at $638,000. So the check that we presented earlier for $600,000, we've already exceeded that. Another $10,000 here too. So that number is climbing. The money's being raised. Great stuff is happening. What do you say we walk through here and see if we can show some more folks as the bowling continues? You got Chauncey Bowen's right over here. Fun to see that. A lot of great dogs. Jordan Hall's about to bowl right here. Can we see Jordan? Do we have time to swing around here and see that? Jordan Hall's getting ready to bowl right there. Fun scene for him. You love the animation there as Jordan also working hard to get himself back on the football field, which I know everybody's really excited about. Maybe with that said, we'll kind of move on down this way. We haven't been down this way too much yet. If we can continue to make our way through here, see what we see. You got another quarterback, Jaden Rashada, over here. We'll also get a chance to hopefully show you Carson back here for a moment as he gets ready to bowl. Carson also looking good with the bowling shirt on. So that's fun to see. And the man of the hour himself, Mark Richt, going to join us here coming up in a few minutes too. By the way, how good does that autographed football helmet look? And now Carson Beck will put his signature on there. What a great thing that is to see. So many Georgia fans love the chance to be able to collect that kind of thing. And how special is it on a night like this to be able to step over and get an autograph from the Georgia quarterback himself, Carson Beck. Really cool. What a night for these kids, lucky enough to be a part of this and all the money that's being raised here this evening. By the way, how about that hat? I think we may have finally found a hat that's big enough to fit my head. That is certainly impressive. And a very classy gesture by Beck to take his time to sign autographs for all these fans. Boy, how cool is that? A great thing tonight, a part of the special evening that it is. The Chick-fil-A sandwiches are out. Everybody's enjoying those. That is fun. And now, as we promised, we'll get a chance to show you Carson Beck rolling his bowling ball here. You'll see that here tonight. And if Carson could tell you right now, he'd also encourage you, go to ricksdawgbowl.com. Help us raise $800,000 this evening. How about Beck getting the spin going, and it's a strike for Carson Beck. It's a strike. You want to talk about a quarterback stepping up there, almost like, is it the PBA? Is that what it's called? The Pro Bowlers Association, with the spin on that? What a thing to see. That may be one of the highlights of the night. Beck just stepping in there and delivering the strike. That was worth the price of admission right there. I'm glad we hung around there long enough to see that. Good stuff from Carson. We're also going to walk our way through here a little bit more, see more of what's going on. I see wide receiver Arian Smith over here. That's fun. But we got dueling microphones going on here. I like to see that. That looks really good.
Mine's prettier than yours.
Yours is a lot prettier than mine.
But yours is real.
Well, I'm sure you sound better in yours than I probably sound in mine.
No. DawgNation always sounds fabulous.
You having a good time tonight?
I always have a good time when I'm around a bunch of dogs.
I hear that. Well, we appreciate you being here.
Okay.
Enjoy the night, okay? Great stuff. Let's come in here. Let's get a quick picture right here. Come on in here. We'll get a quick picture together.
Oh, I love it.
No reason why we can't do that.
Silver dogs.
Oh, we love that.
Okay, good.
We love that. Thank you all for being here. We're going to get a chance to go over here and hear from Coach Richt here right now as we raise a lot of money tonight. Obviously, the goal here is, and I kind of got lost from my people, we're going to get Coach Richt here coming up. I don't want to get too far from my camera, but Coach Richt here coming up, the chance to talk to him.
Right here.
Yeah, we'll be right here, and the camera will be right here. First of all, Coach Richt, on behalf of everybody at DawgNation, as I mentioned to your wife, Catherine, earlier, we just appreciate the privilege of being able to do this with you. Obviously, it's an awesome responsibility, a very big financial goal tonight, $800,000. The folks from Chick-fil-A have been so instrumental in all of this. We're proud to be a part of that, too. Thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Well, we knew you'd do a good job, and I'll be honest with you, I wanted to get Coach Smart's blessing on anything like this as far as having someone stream the event. And I mentioned you guys. He said, I trust in these guys, and so he gave you the thumbs up.
Well, listen, that's a very hearty endorsement indeed when it comes from Coach Smart like that. And we had a chance to talk to him earlier. And, man, his heart's in this. These players, their heart is in this, too. I know for someone like yourself, that's got to be a great thing to see that they're as mobilized by this goal as you and your family are.
Yeah, it's amazing. You just hope you can find 32 guys that would like to do it. And last year, about 60 guys volunteered. It got whittled down to about 50. That's about what happened this year. So there's probably 50 of the players here, taking their time in this. And I'll be honest with you, I talked to Coach Smart about making it an NIL deal. he said they'll do it for nothing. And sure enough, they're doing it just because they want to help people.
That's an awesome thing to hear. And obviously earlier we had a chance to showcase the check presentation. Now the final total is going to be $100,000, but we were at least able to give a check tonight already for $600,000. Obviously a university like UGA, where there are so many great research experts, so many great, doctors like Dr. K, who we had a chance to see a little earlier. How blessed are we to have a university like this that can, really be there? I mean, these are complicated questions. Better treatment, eventual cure for Parkinson's, for Crohn's, and the other neurological disorders. These are complicated questions, but boy, at UGA, there are smart people doing that work, right?
No doubt, and it's almost, I guess it's a coincidence that, as it turns out, I had the Parkinson's, and right here in our own city, we've got one of the greatest research groups in the country when it comes to Parkinson's and Crohn's research and other neurological diseases. And Dr. K and his wife, Arthi, are like some of the best in the world at what they do. So just to have it all right here and be able to call it the Dawg Bowl and have the dog fans join in and help us, it's a big deal.
Well, before we let you go, and obviously let you get back to your event, because so many people want some of your time tonight, if you don't mind me asking, how are you feeling right now? How is your, personal journey going?
Well, I feel good. I move slow, obviously, and like today in particular, I usually don't stay standing as long as I have all day today. So by the end of the night, my balance is shot, and I'm kind of worn out, but I got some adrenaline going because of all these people showing up and loving us. And, again, just if people, the money from the bowling event is already in. We talked about that. But last year, almost 200,000 came from online giving through the streaming service that you guys provide. And I appreciate it.
Coach Richt, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that so much. It's a great privilege to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mark Richt, you just heard him. He's encouraging all of you. Go online. The website is ricksdawgbowl.com for the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. You can be a part of hundreds of thousands of dollars that's going to come in tonight. We're already over $600,000. We're pushing towards $800,000 before it is done, and that's going to be a great thing. So I got Trevor Etienne right over here bowling. We had a chance to see him in action. A lot of fun taking place here this evening. Great stuff happening here tonight. I see John Richt, the son of Mark Richt, here too, having a good time. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah. So you got Trevor Etienne right here. Got Mr. Cathy from Chick-fil-A. He is here too. We're taking a look at all that right now. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm Brandon Adams. This is we love it. Would you mind, we're live on video? Do you mind being on for a second? Sure. This is Andrew Cathy here. This is the CEO of Chick-fil-A. I have just gotten to listen. You always know you're with somebody from Chick-fil-A because they always have the cards ready to give out. We love that at our local Chick-fil-A's. That's obviously a great thing here tonight too. And when we talk to Coach Richt, the one thing that he has said over and over again, the Cathy family, Chick-fil-A, how instrumental they have been in the support of an event like this. And so I think for a lot of us who are big fans of Chick-fil-A, that's obviously a gratifying thing. But from your perspective individually, why Chick-fil-A partnering with something like the Dawg Bowl here tonight?
Well, we really appreciate Coach Richt and just the impact that he's had on so many. I'm a Georgia grad as well, so I'm biased a little bit to what he's done. But the work that he's doing is just fantastic. And so we're just grateful to have the opportunity to come in partnership with him as we can try to combat this issue that he's so passionate about.
And of course, Chick-fil-A has been a leadership, your family's been leading that organization for a long time. And I'm sure you see parallels sometimes between what you have done as the CEO, what your dad did, what your grandfather did as the CEO of Chick-fil-A, and obviously the job of a football coach too. Different things, of course, and yet I'm sure there are some common leadership lessons to be learned in both roles, right?
I think the biggest thing is taking what you have and using it in a way to help others. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, business, sports, but taking those opportunities and using it in a way to help others. And so I feel like that's a kindred spirit that we have in that aspect.
Most important question, are you bowling tonight? And if so, how you doing?
Roughing and having a rough time right now, but about to turn it around.
Well, you got Trevor Etienne on your team, it looks like, so you got a good teammate. Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
Absolutely. Andrew Cathy there, the CEO of Chick-fil-A, passing out the Chick-fil-A. Listen, I'm telling you, there's nothing more Chick-fil-A than that. Passing out those gift cards and coupons here tonight. A fun thing to be able to see. And another fun thing to be able to see, the great Trey Battle joining us here as a part of the program here tonight. Trey, we had a chance to talk to you. We're going to watch some of the bowling here as we do this. We had a chance to talk to you a year ago, and now back here tonight. It's a great thing to see, right? Folks coming together for Coach Richt, coming together for a great cause. What a night.
Yeah, it's an amazing night, and like the amount of people that come out here and support this cause is just testament to the type of guy that Coach is, and two, like this is, if we could scale it out, this would probably be a third of the size of Coach's heart, and so it's just amazing. And I always want to support anything he does because I know how much he supported me in my past.
Absolutely, and every time I got you, listen, I've been a Georgia fan my whole life, and I got these guys. I got to go back and relive the memories, and you know I'm about to mention my favorite one for you. 2006 at Auburn now. One of my favorite ones. 3 interceptions, highly ranked Auburn, big win on the road. You ever get tired of talking about that one? I don't get tired of asking you about it.
Never. I never get tired of talking about it. When would I ever get tired of talking about us smacking Auburn? It's called the South's oldest rivalry for a reason. And for me to be cemented in history as one of the biggest games in the South's oldest rivalry, like, man, I could talk about it till the day I'm gone.
And what's funny about that is, in some ways there's a parallel, right? Because you guys were on the road, highly ranked team, maybe people doubting your ability to win. Well, guess what? This past Saturday, Georgia goes on the road, top ranked team, people maybe doubting their ability to win. You guys kind of showed back then it's possible. If nobody's believing you, as long as the coaches and players still believe in themselves, you can go win a game, and that's the same thing that Georgia maybe did on Saturday.
Absolutely. And as you're drawing parallels, it was equally as a dominant performance. Like as they did in Austin last week, we did the same thing in Auburn years ago. I'm not even going to date it, but years ago when you show up and you know that you have the ability to achieve, and even though like we dropped some games that year. I mean, we lost to Vanderbilt and Kentucky. We came and beat, I think, the number 2 ranked team in the nation. So as long as you believe, there's nothing that's impossible.
What have you seen tonight from a bowling standpoint? Who has impressed you?
I haven't seen anything impressive yet. All I know is I got a little bit too, let's say, involved last year. So Coach told me I couldn't bowl this year. I get a little animated and a little competitive, so he said just smile, wave, and kiss babies. So that's what I'm doing tonight.
Well, what I love is Coach Richt never stops coaching. He was giving out the rules a minute ago, very precise, very specific, still as competitive as ever, and after all these years, still coaching you in particular.
Absolutely. We talk pretty regularly, and sometimes we have speaking engagements together, and it's nice to relive some of those moments, but what's crazy is it's just really how humble Coach is. When you start telling stories about him and some of the things that he's done for people, for you, he'll always stop and say, well, this isn't about me. This is about something else. He always deflects attention to the people around him. And that's the type of coach that he is, and that's just the type of man that he is, and I'll forever love him.
Trey Battle, we're big fans of yours. Thanks for being with us here tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, indeed. Good stuff there from Trey Battle. Now, we're also going to get a chance to kind of make our way through here. By the way, how about the man of the hour? I don't know if he bowls as well as he sacks quarterbacks, but if he does, this bowling alley's in trouble because a guy who about single-handedly took over the first half of a game against Texas on Saturday is standing right there. How about Jalen Walker? Fun to see him tonight. I see Ben Jurasik over there, too. You got to wonder what he thinks about all of this. A very different world here in the SEC now than perhaps his time there in the Pac-12 days of old. So good stuff. Let's see. So Jalen Walker's having a good time talking to folks. You got a lot of these Georgia Bulldogs here. We also have been given the permission to stay on a little longer, a little later here. So don't forget tonight, later on this evening. And by the way, you got David Pollock over there getting ready to roll too. Let's watch David roll here. My guess is David's probably pretty good. He has the spin. He picked up the spare. I didn't think he had it.
Hey, it hit the string.
I did not think he had it, but at the end, Pollock does pick up the spare. A great job getting that done. You like that from David Pollock. Let's see if we can steal some of John Richt's time here. You mind talking to us for a moment? Obviously, John Richt, a big part of the Athens area, D1 training facility. You hear that talked about a lot. John, a big part of that. Also a part of the Prince Avenue coaching staff. Great high school team here in the Athens area. And, of course, here tonight to also honor and celebrate your dad and work hard on behalf of your dad to raise some money.
Yes, sir.
What's it like? The whole community comes out. Nobody would miss it. The players. What does this mean to you personally? Wrestling.
It really is cool just to see everybody come and support them, support this cause of Parkinson's and Crohn's, and really just to see the Bulldog community coming out. It's great that we had an awesome big win, but I don't think it would have mattered. That's the cool part, is really just this community and the way that people come together in this area is special.
And I guess I'm curious, I mean, for a lot of people who are watching right now, they may not know more about, Crohn's and Parkinson's than maybe I do, right? We know a little bit about it. We've obviously learned more about it because of Coach Richt's very courageous battle with it all. But as someone who's seen this impact your family, what would the message be in terms of people who don't have that personal interaction with this about kind of what you've seen and why these research dollars are so important?
Well, I mean, it is something that completely controls and disrupts somebody's life and the way that they've been living life. So for them to have to go through it, when I saw Dad going through it, it's something that it hurts you, but at the same time, you understand that they're going through a big time in their life in which they've got to go through a lot of changes and understand how their body works now. And so the support they've got, the research that's going on, the different things that are happening for these two causes, and my daughter having Crohn's, that's two cool things that we're getting to see a lot of work put into.
And I tell you, your dad makes it look easier than it is, right? I mean, he makes it look easier than it is. And I understand when your daughter was diagnosed with Crohn's, do I have this right? She was the youngest person to ever be diagnosed with Crohn's before?
She was like maybe 5 other people in the world. So she's been a case study for a long time. She got diagnosed when she was 8 months old. So
great to be in a university community like UGA where that research can take place. Right?
No doubt. It's been awesome.
Well, good stuff, John. We appreciate that. We're actually going to have you guys on TV next Friday night, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll see you then. John Richt there from obviously the Richt family and a big part of the night here tonight. We're going to make our way through here. We got a few more minutes to get a chance to be live on video. You see Dominic Lovett over there. Obviously, is Jalen Bowl. There you go. Giving you the touchdown sign. Dominic Lovett's going to get us in trouble. Hey, listen, that's all you can do. Taking it moment by moment, he says. Good stuff from Dominic Lovett. I love seeing these guys having a good time tonight. It's such a fun thing to be able to see. I got good friends here tonight there as well. Good to see you guys having a good time tonight.
It's amazing. Yeah, what a great cause.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys being here. Really good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. I tell you, folks are having a great time. They're enjoying that. You see big Jamal Jarrett over here. There's no telling what kind of damage he can do to the bowling pins. We'll get a chance to watch some of this play out. Maybe have some more special guests. All of this tonight going for a great cause. Raising money for Crohn's disease research, Parkinson's disease research. Such an amazing evening. And you don't have to look very far to find a lot of people having a really good time. Jamal Merriweather over here, Christian Miller over here. Christian played a lot of snaps on Saturday, a very high level, and yet he is still over here just right in the middle of everything. Man, that's such a cool thing to see. Is Christian about to bowl for us here too? We'll see if we can see that. Of course, Merriweather, of course, has a very bright future for Georgia on its offensive line, as many of you know. And if you're not aware, you've heard us talk tonight a lot. By the way, how about Chris Cole over there? You get a chance to see him. Chris came very close on Saturday to getting about as much of a highlight reel interception as you will ever see. That was fun. Warren Brinson also incognito a little bit tonight. Warren won last year, so that's Warren in the black. So he's earned the right to be in, as we would say back in the 80s in pro wrestling, Warren's in street clothes tonight. But that's fun. We were talking about this earlier. The Isaacson Center, if you're not aware, it's named after, obviously, the former U.S. Senator Johnny Isaacson, who his family is here tonight. And Senator Isaacson obviously passing away after a battle with Parkinson's disease. By the way, Lawson Lucky's over here, too. That's really cool. You got Dan Jackson over here. Jackson, obviously suspended for the first half of the Florida game. but targeting calls do not prohibit you from being a part of the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. So Dan Jackson's having fun. We're also going to get a special guest here in a minute, too. You've heard a lot throughout the years about Kevin Chappie Hines, a great close friend of the Richt family. He's the man who began our night with an opening prayer a little earlier, and probably in many ways one of the, I think the people whose spirit lives in an event like this, maybe as much as anybody. We're going to talk to him here coming up, get a chance to do that. In fact, why don't we walk this way a little bit? We'll get a chance to hear from Chappie in a moment. A guy who, I tell you, Chappie Hines is going to join us here right now. Thank you so much for being here. And I tell you, what a night this is. And you just want to walk through here, and obviously we're broadcasting, but you want to walk through here and you just want to soak it all up because everybody's having such a good time.
Well, that's what you hope. I remember when Coach came to our house, said, I need to talk to you, and my wife, Mickey, who's his sister, he didn't know it. He said, I think something's going on. I think I know what it is, but I don't know. And we said, okay, we cried because he didn't say. Then a couple weeks later, he came back and he told us, and he said, please don't say anything. I'm going to tell the world when I'm ready to tell them. But people were asking us, what's wrong? He's saying his hip. He said, I don't know. So he's been diagnosed. So my wife, this is a crazy story, and it's not about me, and I don't really care. When I was 9 years old, I'm from Catskill, New York. When I was 9 years old, my dad sent my brother and I to Customata. I fought for Cuss for almost 4 years.
I didn't know that.
As God is my witness.
I did not know
You
that.
can look this up. I mean,
Customata, a famous trainer that was also involved with Mike Tyson's career.
Exactly. Well, he had Floyd Patterson, and my grandfather, Salvatore Esposito, knew him really well. So my dad's like, we lived in a mile, literally a mile. We lived 167 Spring Street, and it was a mile to the police station, and he was above the police station. Real quick, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go in the Marine Corps, I box. Just a couple years. I'm boxing, whatever. I'm 59 years old. 50 years ago when I was 9 years old, I'm in the ring. I'm in the gym with Cuss. My brother-in-law's got Parkinson's. My wife goes, don't you know something about boxing? Yeah. Well, I couldn't take any kid in here and make him a Golden Gloves boxer. But I can absolutely, for Parkinson's, and boxing is so good neurologically, just a plethora of advantages of boxing. So my wife and I have been doing this rock steady boxing class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at D1 from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock for the last almost 3 years. And to think that I'm a Yankee, I went in the Marine Corps, I met this girl in church, and here we are dealing with Parkinson's, dealing with real life issues, raising money, having a ball. It's just, it's really, it's crazy.
And I think one of the themes of the night has been that even though Coach Richt is battling this, he's battling it so courageously. I don't think his message has been tempered at all. He's still as bold a leader as ever, still as competitive as ever, giving out the instructions and the rules tonight. You could tell he's as into that as he ever would have been. And I think, it's so inspiring. For so many of us, it feels unfair because Coach Richt's a guy that people love so much. The fact that he's the one dealing with this feels unfair, but the way in which he's led through this is as inspiring as anything could be.
Well, my mom died September 1st of 1995, about 7:10 in the evening on a Friday night. Well, Sunday morning, I'm in Sunday school, and I meet Mickey. My mom's 61. My wife's 60. My mom died at 61. Corey Phillips, his son, died at 12.
That's right.
Coach Richt's got. So we go through life. I do a lot of nursing home ministry, and I call them God's silver saints.
Right.
And I ask them all the time, who here's life turned out the way they thought it would? Crickets. Not one hand goes up.
That's right.
No, none of us know.
Right.
And that's why I love being a chaplain, because I preach Christ. I say be prepared to meet your maker. We're going to get cancer. We're going to get Parkinson's. We're going to die of old age. We're going to die natural death. Whatever. But life is tough. And it's been tough on him. And he is the most humble man. Listen, I've been a Marine Corps, I've been a cop. I've never seen somebody in 01, 02, 03, 05, the success get more humble. It was crazy to watch. I know this is my brother-in-law, but to watch him from afar, and just an incredible thing. So
it's an awesome story. We love your family.
Yeah, man,
we thank you for what you do, and we're just really proud to be a part of it tonight.
And I will say this. I don't watch football anymore, NIL, transfer. I don't. I like riding my Harley and shooting guns. But anyway, Kirby Smart's a leader.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a leader.
These players having a great time tonight.
And let me say one thing to the fans. Mike Bobo, I don't know nothing about football. Listen, I don't know anything about football, but every year Brad Johnson, who played in the NFL, and Mark Richt, who's an unbelievable coach, would say, just look at his numbers. Tell the people, just look at his numbers. So get off Bobo. That guy loves his players. He loves the University of Georgia, and he's a phenomenal football coach. Go Dogs.
There you go. Chappie Hines right there. I'll tell you, that's awesome. That is awesome. You can't beat that tonight. What a great thing that is to be able to see. We're also going to get a chance to talk to Dr. K here coming up in a moment. The man that's obviously spearheading so much of the direction that this research money will go to. We'll get a chance to hear that, and we'll get ready to wrap up here this evening too. And by the way, on the DawgNation video channels, we'll be showing you a lot of the aftermath of this, who walks away with the belts, who gets a chance to win these trophies, all of that taking place. But you need to be a part of it. When you hear the Richt family saying what they're saying, doing what they're doing, when you see these players, all of this for a very, very good cause tonight. It's an encouragement for you to be a part of the giving. Go to ricksdawgbowl.com. Raise that money here this evening. We'll walk by here. We'll see more of what's going on. You see David Green, Josh Brooks, David Pollock continuing to have a good time tonight, enjoying all of this. You see the prize that we're contending for. Our Kaylee Manziel getting her chance to talk to to Kirby Smart over there. That's a fun thing to see. Kaylee doing a great job, as she always does. Dr. K coming out with us. We'll also see if we can kind of scan the horizon here for some of the bowling taking place. There's Jalen Walker bowling right over there, lane 19. Jalen going to set himself up for a spare here. So you love to see that. What a night Jalen Walker had on Saturday, and here doing this and participating and having a good time. We'll see Jalen see if he can pick up his spare here. London Humphrey's also getting ready to bowl too. Jalen kind of a casual release, but he connects, and there you go. London Humphrey's also getting it going here too. We're going to move down this way now, get a chance to talk to Dr. K from the Isaacson Center. That's the research facility here at the University of Georgia that all of this money goes to. We're going to walk down here and see this. And as we walk by, you're going to see people continuing to have a good time, enjoying that. The folks from Chick-fil-A have been on hand throughout the entire evening. We're going to slip past Jarvis Jones here for a moment. You're going to see Dylan Fairchild right over there, Jared Wilson right over there. Got Drew Bobo just finished bowling a frame. Dr. K is bowling here right now, and then we'll show you that coming up in a moment too. Obviously, he's going to try to pick up his spare. Going to give himself a chance there. The good news is he is a terrific researcher, so that's what matters. That's what matters on a night like this. And we'll get our chance to talk to him here coming up in just a moment on a night in which a bunch of money is being raised. So Dr. K going to come over and we'll speak to him. And of course tonight, don't forget on the DawgNation video channels, Before the Hedge is presented by Kroger's from UGA Recruiting Talk will take place after we're done. So we'll get back to the business of sort of normal football at that point in time. But for now, Dr. K, join us. We're live on video, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And absolutely, we're so proud of the money that's being raised tonight. And I think for a lot of folks, they know the University of Georgia as a great university. They know research centers like the one that you're a part of as doing great work. But what can you tell our audience about the way in which all of this comes together and you and your staff and your team obviously seek better treatments, better cures? Tell us more about what that's like on the inside.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the coach. He is a wonderful ambassador for the disease. He has been a great supporter. We are fortunate to have him for this, in this community and help us with this work. In terms of the research we do, this funding that Coach Richt, generated the last 2 years, help us to understand how the gut-brain connection. There is a connection when you have, there is a disease in the gut inflammation. A lot of people also have a Parkinson's disease. That's not been well studied. So it's allowed us to look at really complete new area. So Coach Richt and the Isaacson's family, all the support, the community, we have about 50 people in the group. There is about 8 or 7 faculty, and then about rest of our research personnel, including graduate students. We are training a lot of future students faculty and students that they can really go to the Parkinson's disease research.
And when you connect this with something that people are touched by personally, obviously Coach Richt's family, but a lot of the folks who are watching us right now, they have their own story to tell about that. And, that's really where the motivation for raising money from a research standpoint comes from, is that when people have their own personal connection, they're obviously more motivated to help seek that eventual cure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes when you get the disease, a lot of people get, upset and then depressed. But there are very few people who really take this as a challenge. Coach is a great example. He's just kind of fighter. He just wanted to fight the disease. I think if everyone have that type of energy, and this helps us as researchers, looking at a completely new area we never thought about. So that's what I think this is all about research, is, putting us in a front. Funding is always hard to get. Federal funding is shrinking every time. So that means this private donation is much important part of the research to further advance the research.
Well, a lot of the folks who are watching us right now are big football fans, but we're also proud of the University of Georgia from an academic standpoint as well. So we certainly appreciate your time, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you much for having a chance to talk to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much. Great stuff there from Dr. K from the Isaacson Center, raising that money. Really good. Yeah. So let's bring in Ms. White here as well from Rocksteady Boxing. We had a chance to talk to Chappie Hines a little earlier, and he was telling us the story about how boxing has been so instrumental for Coach Richt as he's, maintained his strength and really maintained a great exercise routine. And obviously Rocksteady Boxing is an amazing story, because now really people all across the country are really kind of doing a version of that. Tell us a little bit more about that, from the role that Rocksteady Boxing has played in helping folks kind of find that rhythm, that routine for exercise in light of what can be a pretty harrowing diagnosis.
Well, what they found out is that exercise is really as important as any medication that you can take. And a lot of times now they'll have people go to physical therapy or something like a boxing class before you even start on medication. I started on medication 2 weeks before, though. I've been doing it for 2 years. And I could see a difference almost immediately, not just in my strength, but my balance, my agility, and the boxing. There's just something about, obviously you're clearly having to aim for something, Chappie's hands, but also just the balance that you have to have and the impact. It just seems like it helps with everything, not just balance and agility and strength, but it also helps with your thinking and your clearness of head. Sometimes when we're doing something like a sit to stand exercise, we'll be also doing multiplication flashcards at the same time, so you're multitasking. If I don't go for a week, if we're out of town, I can tell a huge difference.
So, and as you are hearing, you have your own battle going on with Parkinson's disease right now. If you don't mind me asking, for people who feel like they know something about this disease but maybe don't know enough, based on your own personal experience, if you could communicate with our audience that are obviously helping us raise money tonight, what would your message be about what your personal experience has been like as we educate ourselves and obviously help try to raise money for a great cause tonight?
Well, I always say that everybody's going to get something, and what I got is Parkinson's, and hopefully it will be the only thing I get, but that it's not, I don't feel like that Parkinson's defines my life. I can define my life still. But the fact that Georgia, we're so lucky. I'm a veterinarian and retired last year, but Dr. Kanthasamy, to have something like the Isaacson Center at the vet school here in Georgia is amazing, and to know that people are working on something that will slow the progression, maybe be a cure, help people be diagnosed earlier, because they have found that people who are super active and physically active may delay or completely obliterate the chance of them getting Parkinson's. So yeah, I don't think I can say enough for how great this is. Like our group, we have two lanes, and then we have one lane for the College of Veterinary Medicine to alumni, and just you can see the camaraderie And the football players are so nice.
great, yeah.
So we were here last year, and I was showing them pictures of themselves, Jamal and Cash Jones from last year, and they're just like, oh, we remember y'all. So it makes you feel good. I think sometimes people with Parkinson's, because you have some bad days, you just feel like you're kind of shunted to the side, and this just makes all the difference.
Well, I tell you, we've celebrated tonight Coach Richt, who's a tremendous fighter. You're a very brave fighter, too. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great stuff there. The folks just doing a great job here tonight. And obviously, we're celebrating some great stories, and that's a wonderful thing to be able to see. And that's really what tonight's all about. And so we appreciate you watching us live. Obviously, we're having more video coverage for you. Kaylee's got interviews. We'll show you more of the bowling as it takes place. We'll have video of the actual winners to celebrate here with you, too. But one more time before we go, please, tonight, if you feel led to, give ricksdawgbowl.com. Help us raise $800,000. That's our big goal tonight in honor and support of Coach Richt for Parkinson's, for Crohn's disease research. Thank you so much for being here with us live. I'll see you tomorrow morning for DawgNation Daily. And, of course, check out all of the DawgNation video channels, including the DawgNation YouTube page, for more on the behind-the-scenes look at the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. And, of course, stay tuned. Coming up in just a few minutes, we've got Before the Edge is presented by Kroger, too. A lot of recruiting talk here tonight. Thanks for being with us here tonight, though, for the 2024 Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl.